Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and welcome to the Game Exposed podcast. If you guys have a brief question on a narcissist and you want to submit it and have your question answered on the podcast, submit a brief question, you guys, no more than a paragraph because it won't be read. Text your questions to 917-636-1109 and text me your questions, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can and answer them on the podcast, but please make it brief, no more than a paragraph, okay? 917-636-1109. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I want to talk about who the narcissist idolizes. And this is so important in understanding the narcissist that you're dealing with. Maybe you have a toxic parent. Maybe you have a toxic sibling. Maybe you have, a toxic partner. And you're trying to figure out, why does this person react and treat you the way they do? Why do they have these behaviors? Well, we know that narcissists are extremely insecure people, okay? They're basically an empty vessel. If you're dealing with a covert narcissist, they're constantly trying to hide their true authentic self, and a lot of them don't even have a sense of self. So what they do is they idolize a certain person in their life, and who they idolize is who you should take a look at, because that is how they're going to treat you, the way they idolize the person. So a lot of times these narcissists, they come from, abusive homes, or they come from toxic households, or sometimes they were the entitled child, and they idolize the toxic parent that never validated them, okay? And people say, that's crazy. Why would you idolize somebody, that never validated you, or, never showed you love, or was cold, or emotionally unavailable? Because the narcissist is still, throughout their life, in a constant need for that toxic parent's validation, all right? So they may have the most toxic mother or father in the world that treated them like garbage, okay? Maybe they were never there for them. And the narcissist is constantly trying to kiss up to this toxic parent. They may put posts up, on Facebook saying, I have, on their birthday or something, and say, to the most wonderfulest mother in the world, or the greatest father in the world. And you're sitting there and you're saying, why are they sitting there and trying to constantly kiss up to the parent that treated them like garbage? Because they're still unwhole, okay? A narcissist is basically somebody with a fractured soul who doesn't feel complete within themselves, all right? They're always looking to fill that void or emptiness within themselves, and they do it with their partners, always hoping that their partner is going to make them happy, but their partner will never make them happy because the unhappiness lies within themselves, okay? And we had somebody on Facebook, and she said, well, is there any way we could help these narcissists, Because everybody deserves to be helped and this and that. And she was like, it's like Helen Keller. I said, listen, don't use Helen Keller. Helen Keller is not an analogy with a narcissist, all right? And she's like, well, I believe everybody should try to help somebody because hurt people, yada, yada, yada. Well, you can't help somebody who doesn't see a problem in their behavior, who doesn't think that they did anything wrong. So my answer to somebody like that wants to help the narcissist is, go ahead and help them. And then come back to us and tell us how you made out. And I'm sure you didn't make out well, okay? See, this person, obviously she didn't have enough experience in dealing with narcissists. So she really didn't get it, all right? the thing is, when you show love to a narcissist, a lot of people feel like, well, if I do everything for them, if I show them love, if I show them the way of love, okay, maybe they'll learn from it. Not at that point in their life, because the narcissist, all right, they don't value love. They look at people that love as being weak, because when you love, you make yourself vulnerable. And when you make yourself vulnerable, you could get hurt. And see, a narcissist, they think they're slicker than that. They think they're smarter than that. So they never, ever value love. What they value is the fact that nobody's going to ever get anything over on them. Nobody's going to ever hurt them. This is one of their biggest fears, that somebody gets over on them. And that's why they can never be vulnerable and they can never love. Because they're not going to put them, it's a survival tactic for the narcissist. They're never going to put themselves in a position where somebody could hurt them. This is why they always have a backup option. This is why some of them may get something on you, so that if you ever try to hurt them, they're going to come back at you. All right? Or they may try to blackmail you, because they'll never, ever let you get over on them, because they're hurt people. All right? But there's other people that have been hurt that don't go around hurting other people. And every human being has to be accountable for their actions unless they are mentally insane and don't know right from wrong. So when people hurt you and they're cognitive of what is right and wrong, they have to be held accountable, okay? So anybody that sits there and wants to help the narcissist, go right ahead and help the narcissist, because some people got to learn the hard way, and you will learn the hard way as well, that narcissist is not going to respect your help. That narcissist is going to take advantage of the niceness that you show them. But I'm getting off tangent, you guys, because this whole podcast was to really hone in on the fact that narcissists that had an abusive parent idolize that parent, okay? And if you ever marry a narcissist, all right, and you've been in a position like that where you've dealt with a narcissist, just look at who they idolize. And it could be their toxic parent. And a lot of times, these narcissists don't even realize that their parents are toxic. They won't even acknowledge it. Some will say that they're toxic, but they're still kissing up to the parent. I've seen it, you guys, in a couple of people that I've dealt with. They were still kissing up to the toxic parent. And I mean, these parents were horrible, horrible. One parent, actually, her boyfriend raped the narcissist, raped her 5-year-old child, and he was still kissing up to his toxic mother, who allowed the mother to have her boyfriend abuse him. She actually walked in on her son being raped at 5 years old by her boyfriend, and she walked out and said nothing. And you know what? 30 years later, he is still kissing up to his mother, trying to, get her approval, get her validation. It's like, to the normal person, this is fucked up, all right? This is fucked up. Or they idolize the parent that may have hit them, abused them, never showed them love, and yet, they talk highly of them. They say how great they were. And meanwhile, this parent never did shit for them, all right? If anything, this parent was cold, aloof, abandoned them. And yet, the narcissist is still craving that parent's attention, okay? So narcissists, they idolize people that, and a lot of times, that abuse them, all right? They idolize people that abuse them. They don't idolize the person that was nice to them, all right? That's why a lot of times when you end up with narcissistic kids, the kids are idolizing the parent that was never there, the parent that wasn't there when they were sick, or, didn't do anything for that child. The child's always thirsty. Oh, daddy this. Oh, mommy this. And you're saying, what the hell is going on here? I'm the one who did everything for this kid. And yet they're so They just want that connection with that toxic parent. It's like a kid that constantly wants to fill that void of that parent that never gave them that love, never gave them that validation. That's what it is. They never got that love, attention, or validation in some cases, all right? Or in another case where you're dealing with a golden child, that the child was so out of control from having no boundaries and being spoiled that they didn't respect their parent, all right? They didn't respect their parent because children need boundaries. Children need, they need rules and follow guidelines because this way they feel in control. When they don't have boundaries, a child feels out of control, all right? People think that, they're trying to help the child by letting the child do whatever they want. Maybe they feel bad for the child. This is a situation where you may be raising your child and you may be giving them a lot, and maybe because you feel guilty because the other parent is not around. But then that child may not value what you do for them. They take it for granted, okay? They take it for granted, and then they're missing the parent that never did anything for them. And it's all because the inner child of that kid is not fulfilled and is not, they never got that validation that they always wanted. So my point in all this is this, you guys. When you get involved with somebody, all right, and I'm going to say it again, and I've said it in my other podcasts, look at who they idolize. Look at their relationship with their parents. Oh, my God. Ding, 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 ding. Look at their relationship with their parents, all right? Look at the dynamics of that because it will tell you a lot about how this narcissist is going to treat you, all right? Like I dealt in a situation where the narcissist I was with was guilt-tripped by his covert narcissistic mother who constantly guilt-tripped him. So he was constantly always trying to make her happy, always trying to appease her. And you better not say two fucking words about that toxic, covert, narcissistic mother-in-law, or your head will be ripped off, you guys. This is where you have that toxic mother-in-law involved, all right? And what they do is they manipulate their children. They manipulate their children by guilt-tripping them so that their children are always kissing their ass. And if you marry somebody like that, guess what? In order to have peace with your partner, you're going to have to kiss their toxic mother's ass as well if you want to live in peace, okay? It sucks, all right? And it causes divorce. So the bottom line is, when you get involved with a narcissist, check out who they idolize, okay? Check out who they're always trying to kiss up to or who they're always looking for validation. And a lot of times, these narcissists, they're going to constantly look for validation, or they're going to idolize or copy a parent who's got the money too. A lot of them are kissing up to toxic parents who have money. I've seen this, and I'm still seeing this, all right? That they constantly kiss up to the parent who's got the money. Why? Because they're after the inheritance, all right? Or they're looking for handouts. So what do? They're manipulating the narcissistic parent, all right? And this is how people screw other people out of their inheritances. You'll see this in family dynamics, all right? They are the most evil, cruelest snakes out there. This is your covert narcissist who's manipulating the people in the family with the money, okay? So let's say that you're involved with a narcissistic partner. You have to see, if they are constantly kissing up to a parent or they're idolizing somebody, and then you have to look at what the relationship was with them as a child with that parent, and then you'll really understand. And a lot of people that are married to somebody like that, they can't get it. And then they sit there and they try to, talk to their partner and say, why are you doing everything for your mother? Or why are you doing everything for your father? They never did anything for you. They weren't there for you or anything like that. Like, why do you feel this constant need? And they'll they'll probably shoot you down or attack you for even bringing up their parents' name, because that's how sensitive they are when you even bring up their parents. You can't say 2 words if you're not related to them, all right? Because you're the outsider. And they will always validate the toxic parent, all right, over you. Their loyalty will be to the toxic parent over you. And why is that? Because they're basically brainwashed and manipulated, okay? This is why we say narcissistic families are like cults. And I've seen it. Oh my God, I've seen it with so many people in my family and in other people's family, all right? They are like cults in the sense that they manipulate certain members in the family to have to, stand at allegiance to them. And if you don't stand at allegiance, that narcissist, they will cut you out. They will alienate you. They will make you a scapegoat. They will smear you. They will tell everybody you have mental issues. They will tell everybody, you're bipolar. They will tell everybody you're crazy. And why is that? Because you're a fucking threat to them, okay? You're a threat to them because you're a truth teller that will expose them for being toxic, okay? Nobody hates a truth teller like a toxic narcissist in a family, okay? They're terrified of that, and they will get everybody to align against you. And the same thing, you guys, will happen when you marry into a narcissistic family, all right? You got to be careful, because if you get involved with somebody and they have a narcissistic family, you are fucking dead in the water, okay? You won't win. The only way you win is by getting away from these people, because they will never, ever, there's only one way to get along with something like that, and that's to basically, you'll have to kiss their ass. And even if you kiss their ass, they're still going to have things to say about you. Because they love to talk about other people, put them down, gossip about them, and a lot of times they're jealous. They may be jealous of your relationship with your partner, okay? So the bottom line is this. Next time you get involved with somebody, you better take a good look at that family, and you better take a good look at, if they're narcissistic, how they were raised. Now, when the narcissist, your partner, is idolizing that toxic parent, you have to look at how that toxic parent behaves. See, because the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. If their toxic parent was a covert narcissistic type of parent, and they were the kind that always gave the silent treatment, or they gaslit, or they gave a word salad, or they used the amnesia card. Oh, I really don't remember. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Or they constantly gaslighting. If their parents were like that, well, 9 times out of 10, guess what? This is the tactic that your toxic partner is going to use on you, okay? So when you look at that top of the tree, okay, that toxic narcissistic parent that they idolized, and you study them, you're going to see the same behaviors in your toxic partner, because they idolize them, and they're going to mimic those behaviors of the toxic parent, because they think, that's the way to be. They think that's the way to be. Because they don't feel validated, and they're always looking for that person's approval. So they may treat their own children the way their toxic parent treated them. And I've seen this. I've seen this in my family. Everything I tell you guys, I have experienced. Like, I had some guy get on there, what is your credentials? My credentials is the school of hard fucking knocks, okay? Growing up around it, marrying into it, being in relationships with it all around the board. That's my credentials, okay? And if you don't like it, you don't need to follow me. Go be on your way. Go follow somebody who read it out of a book and who didn't live it, all right? It is what it is, all right? So, you guys, it's like this, all right? The point I'm trying to make in all of this is that, they will constantly be looking for that validation, because they don't feel complete until they get some kind of approval or praise from that toxic parent that they never got as a child. So when you marry or you get in a serious relationship with somebody like that, that narcissist is going to constantly be seeking the approval of that toxic parent. You may get things like this. They may say, oh, I want to invite my mother over, I want to have her over, let's cook a meal and this and that. And meanwhile, that mother, she may have been making snide remarks about you. She may have been talking bad behind your back, but yet your partner still wants to have a relationship with her because they're still looking for her approval. They're still trying to get her to say something nice about their son or their daughter, like, oh, that was beautiful, or oh, that was nice, that post that they put. And what that toxic narcissistic parent does is, they never compliment, they never validate their child when they're trying to make them happy. So this is their way of controlling their children. And guess what? You get involved with somebody like that, they're going to control you the same way, because they're going to control your partner to the point of having your partner guilt-tripped, all right? And you're going to be there trying to pick up the pieces between them and trying to kiss up to the toxic mother. So when you're involved with a toxic narcissist, it's not just you and the narcissist. Okay? A lot of people won't learn that till you marry it or you have kids with it. See, it goes a lot deeper than that, you guys, and especially if you have children. It's a big difference when you have children, and I'll tell you why. Because when you have children, you can't just walk out that easily, okay? You're kind of stuck in a lot of ways, and especially if you're financially dependent on the narcissist. So it's not the same, okay? I mean, you could still leave when you have children, but it's a harder road. First, you got divorce court, then you got to pay out to attorneys, then you got to deal with visitation, then you got to deal with, back and forth game playing with the narcissist. It sucks, all right? So be careful of who you have children with, especially a narcissist, because they will counterparent and make everything difficult in your life. And I had some narcissistic heifer try to say, narcissistic influencer, try to make a comment and say, oh, that's bad advice. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. That's not bad advice. That's the best advice in the world, is to tell somebody to be careful of who they have children with. You want to make sure that that person that you have children with will be there for that children, will, be responsible, that if something were to happen to you, those children will be taken care of in the right way. That is the best advice somebody could give you, is to be careful of who you have children with and to look at them and say, could I ever trust this person if something were to happen to me? All right. But, she's a narcissist herself, and she's a narcissistic influencer. And I tell you, so many people are fooled by some of these narcissistic awareness influencers, because a lot of them are narcissists themselves, but they're just doing it because they're on the money train, all right? They're just trying to build up a platform and a forum for themselves because, again, they're narcissistic and they're there for the money. They're not there because they truly want to help people. They're there because, they're looking for fame, they're looking for money, they're looking to sell their little recovery courses, okay? Whatever, all right? So, whoever you follow, you guys, just make sure that they're a real one. Make sure that they're authentic, because there's a lot of people out there that pretend that they're in your corner when really they're in their own corner, all right? So anyway, I got off tangent here, but the point I'm trying to make this morning, and I'm trying to rush before I get interrupted here, all right, is that you guys, these toxic narcissists will always idolize the toxic parent that never validated them, and they're always going to try to look for their approval and validation throughout their life because they never got it, and they're going to want you as well to kiss up to that toxic parent, especially if you're married to them. They're always going to want you to, kiss up to their mother or father who is toxic. So you guys, it's a life of, walking down the plank. Be careful, because you're not just dealing with the narcissist, you're dealing with the toxic parent that they idolize. All right. It's sick. I know it's sick, but they don't see it. And, you'll see it if somebody's doing it, if they're always trying to kiss up to that parent that did nothing for them or was cruel to them, or, that's how you know that's the person that they idolize. They're always trying to look for that validation because they never got it. And you will be having to do the same thing if you want peace in your home, having to kiss up to that toxic parent. This is where we talk about the toxic in-laws, all right? The people that are in your business, talking about you behind your back, looking to start trouble like covert narcissists to your partner, saying little backhanded things behind your back, all right, to try to start trouble and problems in your marriage or relationship. These people are deadly. They're covert narcissists, and they will try to cause problems. Why? Because they're fucking miserable. If you look at them, they're fucking miserable people, and they hate to see other people happy, all right? So watch out who you get in a serious relationship. Look who they idolize, and take a good look at the tree. Take a good look at those parents, all right? Because, if they're coming off a bad tree, you're getting a bad apple 9 times out of 10, all right? So, you'll know them by the fruits, you guys, all right? As it's written, you will know them by the fruits, by the fruit of the tree they came from, all right? I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Game Exposed Podcast, and follow me on Instagram, you guys, at the Game EXP123, and have a great day. Have a great weekend. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at the Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, the Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.